Hi guys! I thought I would do a get ready with me and show you guys just like a quick everyday kind of, not really natural, but natural for me kind of get ready. Just the routine that I do and what I use. And I thought it'd be fun just to kind of film while I get ready since I needed to get ready anyway, and why not? So here we go. We are going to start with skin prep. I've already moisturized and added an eye cream, and then I'm going to go in. Sorry, if you catch me looking over here, it's because my viewfinder's here, and then I have a little mirror that I have here. I'm trying to figure out the best filming setup. I'm actually in my kitchen right now, so that's why it's kind of strange. I hope that you can see details. Oh, you can probably see way too much. So we're gonna get started. So I like to do first when I do my face is I work on my brows, and then I work on my eyes, and then I do my base. That's just my preference. It's just the easiest thing I found, because if you have any fallout with your eyeshadow or your eyeliner is not exactly perfect, you can clean all of that up and then work on your face, and you don't have to worry about any mistakes getting in the way of your perfect base. So that's the way I like to do my makeup, and that's usually how I like to do my clients' makeup also. So I'm gonna start with my brows, and I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow, and this one is in Blonde. So I like to take the Morphe E40, which has an angle tip on one end and a spoolie on the other, and I'll just dip into the dip brow. And for my brows, I prefer brows to be a little bit more natural. I don't really like heavy Instagram type drawn in brows. So I really just fill in the sparse areas, which for me is kind of like the top of my arch and then underneath. Blonde color. And this is just like one of those fiber brow gels. The brush is really cool, and it just has little hairs, and I like this because it is more cool toned, and it just kind of helps all of the hairs of your brows to go in the right direction and stay in place all day. So I just drag a little bit of this through, kind of fluff the front of my brows up, and then angle the rest of them down. To take a concealer, whatever concealer you use, recently I've been loving the Tarte Shape Tape, the color Light Medium Honey. And this is perfect for me. I'm kind of more of a light to medium, going into medium skin tone as the summer comes around. And so what I do is I will just take a little bit of this and I run it on my eyelids, because I also like to use this as a eyelid primer. I like products these days that are as multi-purpose as possible. And then I will just take a small concealer brush, flat concealer brush. This one's by Morphe. The number has rubbed off. And I like to use this, and I will take the concealer and just a little bit on my brush, and I like to just drag it up under my brow, so that I'm effectively cleaning up that line, making it look a little bit more structured without like adding any more brow product. It's kind of an illusion. It cleans up the brow so that if you made any mistakes, you can kind of disguise those, and it also just adds definition without adding darkness. So I like to do that and just kind of quickly run under the line of my brow, and then I will pull whatever is left over onto my eyelid. eyes, you want to go in and set that so that you have an even base for your eyeshadow to blend onto. So what I like to do is I like to take either just a skin tone color, like a bone color shadow, or a face powder or translucent powder. And the one I have and I'm using at the moment is the Coty Airspun. Oop, I just dumped some in the lid. Coty Airspun in translucent extra coverage, and this is like $5 at Walmart. It's super affordable. It does smell like your grandma, which, no offense to your grandma, but it smells like an old lady, that kind of floral, kind of sickly smell. But it goes away after a little while, so don't let that deter you from trying it. It's really great. So I just dust a little bit of that on a little fluffy brush, and this one is the Real Techniques setting brush, and I just run that along where I put that concealer and just set everything. And I look kind of crazy. I have powder everywhere now. So what I like to do on those kind of days where I'm not trying to do too much on my eyes is I'll take just a regular fluffy brush. This is a Jessup tapered blending. Any large to medium sized fluffy brush will do. And I usually will just take like a bone color shadow. I'm using Makeup Geek's, what is this? Makeup Geek's Vanilla Bean. Just a cream matte shadow, or you can have a little shimmer in it. And I just like to dust that right on top of where we put that translucent powder. I'm going to use MAC's Soft Brown. And focus. So soft brown, just a light color, and we just fluff our blending brush in there. Give it a swirl, and then I just apply in little circular motions, mostly on the outer corner of my eye, going up into my crease. Nothing too difficult, nothing too complicated. I like to keep my eye looks pretty simple on the daily. I have pretty large eyes, and I don't feel like I want to wear a lot of eyeshadow all the time because I feel like it could be a little bit too much. So this is generally the kind of look that I will do on a daily for work, or, you know, running errands, just something really simple. So all I've done is go in a couple times with that medium brown color and just fluff that in the crease. So this is like a transition, but you can also build this up if you wanted more depth. But really for today, that's probably all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to repeat the process. This is Makeup Geek's Frappe. It's just a slightly deeper brown. Can you read that? So I might just take a little bit of that and concentrate that in the outermost corner. And then bring that gradually up into the crease, but not quite as high as the first color. The first step I like to do before I do my actual wing is I like to tightline, which is the waterline up under your lashes, your upper waterline. So I like to do that by looking down into my mirror and kind of gently pushing my eyelid up. So the one that I have been loving lately is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster, and this is an ultra black, and it's a felt tip. Well, no, it's a brush tip actually, brush tip pen, and I love it because it's really black and it dries more matte than other ones that I've tried, which is great. It's super easy to use. I will sometimes pull the skin right here. I will start with my wing usually. You don't have to, you can start and you can draw your line across your lash line and then wing it out. It's all really in the preference of what you like. Straight out. And you can go in little motions if that's easier for you, or you can go, I would suggest short little strokes. And then I will pull that line back towards the inner corner of my eye, and I will create that outline, and I will go back and fill that in. So we are on to our mascara. So I have curled my eyelashes, and I'm just gonna add a little coat of mascara. My favorite is the L'Oreal Voluminous Black, Voluminous Carbon Black. Mascara's on. Now I'm gonna move on to my face and do the rest of my face makeup. And to start, I'm gonna prime, and I'm gonna use the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Blur and Smooth one. I am oily, I have large pores, and I like this one. This is actually, I've almost finished this one. I've actually repurchased this. So I like to focus primers mainly on my T-zone. So where I have larger pores, which for me is right here on my cheeks, and I will kind of just take my fingers and press and push the primer right into those pores. Now today I'm actually going to go against everything I usually talk about, what I like in terms of foundation, and usually I'm all about the matte foundation, flat matte, oil control. Today I'm actually going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow version, and I actually really do like this. This is a really great color match for me when I have a little bit of color in my body, and I love it. I just think I still love the formula of the Pro Matte a little bit better in terms of long wear for my skin, but when you set this properly, you can totally get away with wearing something that's not quite as matte. So I have been loving this one. So I just squeeze a little bit out, and then I dot it all over my face. Again, use the Tarte Shape Tape and a light medium honey. And this is super full coverage, so you really only need a little bit. I really just concentrate it right here in this inner corner where I have darker circles. Oh, I was actually going to use another product. I forgot. Oh well, we'll use that next time. And then I'll go in with a damp beauty sponge. Sure that everything is patted in and blended. I have been liking lately, again, is the Coty Airspun, or the Laura Mercier is a really great one if you have a little bit little bit more money to spend on a setting powder. And so I will again take my Real Techniques setting brush, dump a little bit of that in the lid, and I like to kind of look down or look up but angle my face down towards my mirror and then just gently tap under my eyes. And I like to go in with some bronzer. I have so many that I love and trust. Benefits Hoola is a great one. I also love these Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten foundation powders. I think that they're really great as a bronzer because they have a little bit of extra coverage, but they're marbled, so they have a bunch of different tones in them, so I feel like it blends naturally into your skin. So this one is in the shade Tan, and I will again just take that big fluffy brush, just swirl it in, tap it off. And in the summertime, I like to focus less on heavy contouring and more on just bronzing the skin. I want it to look like I have been in the sun, I've caught some natural sunshine on my face, and so I focus my bronzer where the sun would naturally hit me. So that is at the top of my forehead. I will just buff little amounts of product right into my hairline. Make my baby hairs go crazy. And then I will buff along the top of my cheekbones and kind of scooping it down along the bottom just as if I was contouring, but I'm not really focusing too harshly, or too heavily I mean, on that contoured zone. I'm just kind of bronzing my entire cheekbone. So the sun would naturally hit the top of your cheekbone, the bridge of your nose, and I love this trick on myself. I think that it is really flattering. It looks like I've actually been in the sun when I bring my bronzer a little bit over the bridge of my nose and kind of bring it down the sides of my nose. And that's a cute technique for your blush too. You look like you've caught some sunshine. So again, I'm just fluffing a little bit of product right on top of my cheekbones and just warming up my skin. And then I will take that along my jaw. And so I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like whenever I add bronzer, I just come alive. My skin looks normal, it looks fresh, I look like I am no longer a zombie. And in the summertime, you can get away with a little bit more bronzer because we're all trying to look bronze. Let's be honest, we all are. So once you've packed on a crap ton of bronzer, you can go in and contour, and for the sake of this, I can show you a little bit of how I would contour. I'm not going to go heavy with it because I have enough color on my face. So I usually will just use a brush. This is the one that came with the Benefit Hoola or the Dallas blush. Just like a little angled brush, which is perfect to chisel in your cheekbones. And then I have a little sample of Hoola because my other one ran out. So I just ordered a new one. So I will just dip into the Hoola. And Hoola is a little bit more of a cool tone bronzer, so you can get away with using it as a bronzer and also using it as a contour color. And then I will just go under my cheekbone. And I love this little brush because it's that perfect size and it allows you to chisel right along the cheekbone. And then buff and blend it as you go.